auction block and auctioned off and this was a way of teaching them about slavery. And these were young children, 5 and 6 years old, kindergarten children. And so that's what she's asking. It was someplace in the South.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, those type of lessons, if you want to call them, aren't that uncommon. You saw about a week ago, the president of Emory University in Atlanta made a statement saying that he didn't understand how the Democrats and Republicans couldn't compromise, because after all, they were able to compromise when they were writing the Constitution about the 3/5 Amendment. And now he's being asked to resign for that statement. I think that people classified as white oftentimes are very clumsy about enslavement. When I moved to Baltimore about 11 years ago, I was asked, there was, down in Annapolis, they wanted me to pretend, I want to make sure I got this right, they had white people in chains and they wanted the black people to be the masters. And I told them they were out of their mind. And they asked me to do that. I told them they were out of their mind. And see, it's these kind of bizarre, you know, depictions and, quote, educational techniques that whites have, because they're oftentimes ignorant of the history of enslavement. And that ignorance, you know, affects all of us. So I'm not surprised when I hear that stuff in one sense. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not really surprised. And I think there's less, I always tell people the best way to teach enslavement is to teach what happened. Just tell what happened. So I saw the movie Lincoln. And I said they had him as Saint Abraham, and they elevated him to the level of like he was ready to get transfigured or something like that. It's just the same as my sister said, what's this film about the women that were cleaning up houses? The Help. That's fiction. That's absolute fiction. And if there's a scene in that film where the night of Medgar Evers' assassination in June of 1963, that they had black folk running around Jackson all disorganized and we scared, and that didn't happen. And you know, and one of the problems I've had, and I know I'm stepping on some toes with this one, but this film Django, and I don't want to be a film critic either, but the number one crime during enslavement, beside the institution itself, was rape. That was the number one crime. And there was no depiction of that in the film. I had serious problems with Django. I know it made black folk feel good. But that, you know, that's not a measure of how well history is being taught. And I mean, I could go, I don't want to get into Django, but I think what we've got to do is teach enslavement the way it is. We have to teach about Martin Delany and Denmark Vesey's rebellion in 1820 and Gabriel Prosser. See, they usually give us Harriet Tubman, they'll give us a little bit of Frederick Douglass, and that's all we know about what was going on during that period. And we got to go deeper as Africans in America than what they oftentimes in our curriculum show.
I think that